in this video what we're going to do is we're going to clean the cell on our salt system. So we have an autopilot salt generator here. This is the cell. It has the plates inside of it, and we're going to give them an acid bath. They can build up with calcium and oils and grease. So every 3 or 4 months we like to make sure that they're cleaned out. So my first step is I'm going to walk over and shut the system off. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to use a pair of channel locks. Again, you can get these at a hardware store or Home Depot or Lowe's. Sometimes they're only hand tight, but if you have a pair, they come in handy. And basically, on this one, I'm going to just loosen up this side just a little bit so that I can turn the manifold once I get the other two loose. I got to pull this cable off of here. While I have it, I'm going to look in there and make sure that they're nice and clean. There's no oxidation going on. They look really good. All right, I'm going to loosen these up. Basically, I'm going to take this one section out. We'll take a look in there, see what it looks like. And again, you saw I loosened that side. That's just so I can turn that like that. Okay, so if you look down in there, we got some white calcium building up, especially on the two outside plates. You can see white on the tip. All right, it's not too bad, but we're going to go ahead and clean it. So this cell has threads inside of it. Depending on what model you have and what brand you have, they don't always have this. If they don't have it, what you'll do is you'll just stick it in the bucket and you'll pour your acid solution over it. But you'll want to make sure the prongs are out of water. So always put these up high so that you can pour the acid in, because the bucket's going to fill up. You don't want to fill it up to the point where this gets on the acid or water. So the nice thing about this one is it does have the cap. So I'm just going to put a cap inside of here, because what I can do now is I can rest this in the bucket and I'll pour my acid solution right inside there. So I already put water in this bucket. As you can see, it's just water right out of my garden hose bib, and I'm going to add acid. I'm going to make about a 50-50 mixture of water and acid. Keep in mind, whenever you're adding chemicals and putting water and chemicals together, always add the chemical to the water, not the water to the chemical. So I'm going to go ahead and pour some acid in here. And again, whenever you're messing with muriatic acid, you want to make sure that you don't breathe too much over it, because you'll probably see it smoking as I'm pouring it in here. Okay, that's enough acid. Cap on this. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the acid, I'm just going to pour it right inside my cell here. And I'm going to fill it up until it's higher than the plates. Okay? And if you look inside there, you can actually see the reaction I'm getting. It's actually fizzing, and that's good. That means it's reacting with the calcium that's inside the cell. And we're going to let this sit for about 15-20 minutes, and we'll see how clean the cell looks when we come back. We'll see in a little bit. Okay, so we're back. Our cell has been sitting in our acid and water solution for about 20 minutes now. Looks like it's pretty clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dump it out into my original bucket with the mixture in it. Okay. You can see how clean it is inside. All the white that was on the edges is now gone. Plate's look in fantastic shape. There's nothing between the plates, nothing on the outsides. So we're ready to put this back in. Alright, what I still have to do on this one is I have to take the cap out of the bottom. Because if you remember, this one had a cap, which came in handy. We'll go through the motions of putting it back now. Alright, so I'll step on this side so that you can see what I'm doing. And basically, we're going to just put the cell back the way we had it. So I'm going to start with the bottom. I'm going to just do everything hand tight to begin with. I'll snug things up with my channel locks when I'm all done. Alright, so turn this over here, line it up. Hand tighten, and I'm going to hand tighten this one back up. begin with. I'm going to put my cable back on. You'll notice this unit has 2 prongs. It only needs a smaller cell for the size pool we're dealing with. The larger cells have a 3rd prong. Therefore, the cable has 3 spots for prongs. If you have this type of system, you only have to hook up either of the 2 of the plug to the cell. So I'm going to use the outside 2 here. Just make sure you're on nice and snug. I'm just going to go ahead and that's pretty tight. That's pretty tight. And I'm just going to check this one. We're all tightened up. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and turn the system back on. We'll check it for leaks. And then we're going to discard the acid and water solution we made. If you look at the mixture I had, it's clean. So in cases where your pH is high in your pool, which it may be if you're on a salt generator, you could just pour this directly into the pool. Okay, I'm going to just inspect my cell for leaks. As you can see, there's no leaks. Everything's good. If you have any questions, you can always find us on poolserviceonline.com.